Okay, let's talk about Turkey, starting with the 1950s with President Gerald Bayar, who, as you can see, has some pretty incredible glasses and eyebrows, and Prime Minister Adnan Menderes, who led Turkey through its transition from a single party to a multi party democracy. Menderes, in particular, was influential. He was really known for his charismatic leadership and economic liberalization policies. He was really beloved by the rural communities for modernizing agriculture and bringing about a lot of infrastructure changes and modernization there. However, political instability during this period also resulted in Turkey's first military coup in the 60s, that marked kind of beginning of the period of military interventions in Turkish politics since then. Menderes was actually executed following that coup and became a symbolic figure of democracy and martyrdom for many in Turkey. So in the 1980s, Turkey underwent a substantial economic reform initiated by Prime Minister Turgut Özal, who later became the president. Özal introduced liberal economic policies, deregulation, and privatization, which really opened the country up to global markets and foreign investment and accelerated the country's economic growth. It also coincided, however, with heightened tensions and more particularly with the Kurdish minority, involving the PKK. And then the current president of Turkey, Erdogan, since 2010s, Erdogan has really centralized Turkey's power, but he's also expanded infrastructure and increased Turkey's geopolitical presence. His tenure has some economic challenges, including really, really high inflation rates and currency instability, and some controversial policies involving really his reluctance to raise interest rates despite this really high, despite really, really high inflation rates. Um, he continues to maintain strong economic ties with Russia, particularly in the energy sector, but has politically aligned with the West and has even provided a great deal of support to Ukraine. His current term runs until 2028, so barring any constitutional changes or political developments, um, he will likely, we'll see what happens with that election. There we go. Despite some controversies and bouts of instability, Turkey really remains a critical partner to the US and to Europe, and has been a NATO ally since 1952. It also serves, is often referred to as the bridge between Asia and Europe, and is one of the most frequently visited places in the world, and I think for good reason.